Hello and welcome to a more personal video about books. I'm going to be talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 books that I think can positively impact your life, anybody's life who reads them. And these are 13 books that have or 14 books that have really positively impacted my life. Okay, so let's get right into it. I'm gonna start with where I started, and then I'll move on to my favorite book. Okay, so it's got a whole bunch of books here. Okay, so the first occult mystic book that I ever read was called The Amazing Secrets of the Masters of the Far East. And this book it's by Robert Collier, and it has 7 secrets in it with some asanas and some kundalini yoga poses at the end. And I found this book when I was like probably 14 or 15 years old when my journey started, and it has a lot of different golden nuggets. This is full of golden nuggets. The whole book is basically golden nuggets. Like the way that it's structured is just title, golden nugget, and then a little story or something to go with it. But it really embodies everything that you need for your spiritual journey. Like every single thing that you need here is here. Okay. Really, really good book. So check it out if you like occult mysticism. This is going to be a book for you, secrets and stuff like that. So the next book that I have here is the second book that I came across in my spiritual journey. And this book is called The Invisible Influence by Alexander Cannon. Okay. I picked this book up. It was in my dad's antique shop. And I went and got it and I read it, and it has a whole bunch of eye-opening, mind-opening stories in it. It's about a hypnotist named Alexander Cannon who went and traveled to Nepal and India and underwent some adventures that allowed him to see different displays of animal magnetism and miraculous work done in present day world. So I think this is an awesome book for opening up your mind, okay? And back when I started my journey, there wasn't a lot of YouTubers talking about occult sciences, magnetism. I didn't really see Neville Goddard or any of that stuff on my For You page or anything like that. So this was something for me to know that there are people in this world who are interested in hypnotism and the occult sciences and stuff like that. So really good book. Next book is similar because it also is a book that opened my mind to things. It's a great book by itself, but it opened my mind more than a lot of things. Clairvoyance by C.W. Leadbeater. Now, Leadbeater writes a whole bunch of books about the astral plane, the Davionic plane, and stuff like that, but I have his books. They're cool. I like this one the most, and this was the first book that I read by him. Really, really cool. Tells you when you're intentionally and unintentionally looking in a clairvoyant way, okay? It also tells you full clairvoyance versus partial clairvoyance. Really, really cool book. Eye-opening in a lot of different ways, okay? All right, moving on to my favorite book. This one was discovered a lot later by me, but this is Miracle of Love by Ram Dass, okay? And I'm going to read this to you, the back of the book here. I'm going to read this to you so that you know what it's all about. There can be no biography of him. Facts are few, stories many. He seems to have been known by different names in many different parts of India. Appearing and disappearing through the years, his Western devotees of recent years knew him as Neem Karoli Baba, but mostly as Maharaji, a nickname so commonplace in India that one can often hear a tea vendor addressed thus. Just as he said, he was nobody. He gave no discourses. The briefest, simplest stories were his teachings. Usually he sit or lay on a wooden bench wrapped in a plaid blanket while a few devotees sat around him. Visitors came and went. They were given food, a few words, a nod, a slap on the head or back, and they were sent away. There was gossip and laughter, for he loved to joke. Orders for running the ashram were given, usually in a piercing yell across the compound. Sometimes he sat in silence, absorbed in another world to which we could not follow, but bliss and peace poured down on us. Who he was no more than the experience of him, the nectar of his presence, the totality of his absence, enveloping us now like his plaid blanket. Okay, this is a book about Maharaji, who is a guru who left his body in 1972. Okay, and it's just a bunch of stories. Like, for instance, like you just open the page and there's all these different little accounts of him. For instance, this one here says, he's beyond anything that you could say of him. Just a very, very powerful book, very loving, very heart-opening. I highly recommend that if you don't get any other books in this thing, you grab this one. This is the book to grab, okay? I've carried it with me for a long time, and it's just continues to deliver me with everything that I need from it when I need it. Very, very cool book. Okay, so we're just gonna go in no particular order now, okay? Okay, so we have Becoming Supernatural. I talk about this book so much with my peers and with people in real life. And I find that this book really helps relate the Western mind to the Eastern philosophies of breath work, pranayama, Kundalini yoga, and all that stuff. This is basically Kundalini regurgitated in a Western way, in a scientific way. And then it's proven with the HeartMath Institute and different measurements of scientific measurements that Joe Dispenza uses to measure what's happening when you're going through a Kundalini awakening. So this is an amazing book to grab, okay? Basically a manual on how to get your Kundalini to rise from the base of your spine, okay? Cool book. Okay, next book is called Ask and It Is Given by Abraham Hicks, okay? Esther is a woman, a very, very cool woman who channels a collective of consciousness called Abraham. And so this book is channeled by Abraham, and it has 22 processes in it that will help you or me or anybody increase our vibrational frequency. So this is an amazing, amazing book for law of attraction, mindset stuff, and just getting into a good feeling place, okay? This is a great book for feelings. Okay, I'm reading this one right now. So I haven't completely read this book right here. Okay, this is called Complete Guide to Qigong by Daniel Reed. This is a really, it looks like just a book that you'll get off of a shelf, like $20, like maybe you get it from Barnes & Noble, whatever. But the information in this book is really, really powerful. And the exercises in the back of the book that I've been doing, really good stuff, okay? So if you want to follow along with my exercises that I put out and that I show on here and wherever else, this is where I'm getting most of it. Well, actually, all of these books is where I get some of my exercises, okay? This one is the Qigong exercises. Really, really good book. Next book is for my boys out there, for my men out there. This is called, this is for men with a masculine core, or this is for individuals who have a feminine core and are attracting a masculine man or want to attract a man with a masculine core. It's important that you read this book as a man. It doesn't matter where you are in life, read this book, okay? It's got breathwork practices at the back of the book. It's got very short chapters, very easy to comprehend, easy to read quickly. And it's basically a treatise on how to treat women in the world. It's a really, really, really powerful book because as a man myself, the way that I see the world is much different than the way the divine feminine sees the world. So this helps understand that and understand how to provide space for the feminine. okay? Because that is so important. We have to provide space for the feminine as men. Okay, let's keep moving. This book right here was recommended to me by a friend, okay? This is called Angel Abundance. This is by Belinda Womack. And at first I was a bit skeptical because it's like another one of those Amazon books. It's like you can find this anywhere. And I'm really skeptical about the new age stuff when it comes to books and writings and publishers and stuff like that. I really tend to gravitate more to the old stuff, the stuff that was made before spiritual awakening was popular and regular. You know, I like to gravitate more to like the older stuff with the hardbacks and stuff like that. But this book, I gave it a chance. I read it. And let me tell you something. The meditation walkthroughs in this book gave me huge emotional and somatic releases. Humongous releases. And so I don't care where this information came from. This woman, Belinda Womack, she channels 12 archangels. And so she channeled those angels, put it in this book, and it's a step-by-step walkthrough. Once you get through this whole book, you should be attracting all of the abundance that you want in your life. Really, really powerful book, okay? Okay, next book is my numerology go-to book. Okay, I have a bunch of numerology books that I like. One of them I'm actually working on has a little bit more in-depth information. So I might actually show you that one as well. But this is the first numerology book that I got into. It's called Your Days Are Numbered by Florence Campbell. And it's just like a textbook sort of format. It tells you like, it's basically a workbook. Like I was born on the 7th day of the month. So you go and you look at the chapter that says days of the month, and then here it is, 7th day of the month, and it gives you a description of what that is, who that is, right? Does that for every day of the month. Does that for personal days, names, life path numbers, birthday, all that stuff is inside this book. Basically, honestly, any numerology book, they're all pretty much the same. I have a bunch of them, and if you look in them, they all have very similar information. They just use different labels and stuff. So it's not really about the book. I'm just saying when I recommend this to you, that numerology books are good to have and study. Okay. The next one is going to be one that is extremely powerful in my opinion. Okay, this is called the I AM Discourses, and this was channeled by, I think, 22 people, and it is the Ascended Master Saint Germain channeled, and he talks about I am, okay, and the way that we can use the I am to become I am, to become who we are, right? This is such a good book, like seriously. The affirmations in this book, the mantra affirmations in this book are the craziest, are the best affirmations. Yeah, you can like gear them towards yourself and make them more personal, but the affirmations in this book, oh my goodness, they are so good. I wish I came up with them myself, but they have been already come up with in this one, okay? So go get this book if you want some affirmations. Next up is more scientific. This is written by a plastic surgeon who learned about how even when he did plastic surgery on people, it wasn't necessarily changing their inner dialogue, their inner voice, or like their identity within themselves. So he studied that, and he studied that a lot, and he discovered that your subconscious mind and identity has a big role to play in what you're attracting, and what habits that you do. Like he explains basically, like, you know how you go through habits and you start new ones and you say, I'm going to start this New Year's resolution, I'm going to go to the gym every day, and then you end up stopping. He explains why that happens and how to fix that. And he also he gives you methods and techniques in this book as to how to, not how to, but more like mental models, really good ways of thinking about the world to get the results that you want, okay? Really, really powerful book, really short too. So easy read. It's a little bit self-helpy, this book, but I would look past that. I would try to look past that with this one because the methods in here are really powerful, okay? All right, so this is just a small mention, okay? I found this book at a garage sale. It's called The Power of Suggestion. Just another book on hypnotism and how to hypnotize the self to do the things that you want to do, okay? And probably this book is really good, but I think this book is a little bit more, probably better overall. And if you really want to get into hypnotism, the book Practical Lessons in Hypnotism by, who's this by? Wesley Cook? Yeah, Wesley Cook. Okay, this is by Wesley Cook. It's called Practical Lessons in Hypnotism, okay, by the Willie Book Company. And I'm telling you, this book, it's a difficult read because of how in-depth he goes into like how to get your first subject, what to tell them, how to do it at first, what the subject will be thinking. He goes really, really in depth. It looks short, but it's pretty hard read. Okay, pretty difficult read. If you like hypnotism, that is the one. I don't know where you can find this book nowadays. I found this, I forget where, but amazing book. Okay, and then let me get into the book that I'm reading right now. So I'm reading Qigong. That's a really good book to read. It's just telling me about the history of Qigong and where it came from and the different dynasties of China and what they, how the development happened. It started as this internal alchemy that got translated and interpreted as external alchemy. So people tried to find where's the elixir of life outside of myself, when in reality it was always within. Just telling me the history of that. But I'm also reading this book right here, Holistic Tarot. And I picked this book up off the shelf of a Barnes and Noble, and there's all these different tarot books. And let me tell you, I just don't like the New Age tarot stuff. It's too broad. It's too there's just not enough bread. There's not enough stuff to bite onto. And so I read the preface to this one, and highly recommend it for anybody who's looking to read tarot cards. And in fact, I think that it will help me quite a bit in my own reading, just because of the nature of this book. He talks about, I just read the preface, but I don't know if this is a girl or a man who wrote this. Benabel Wen talks about how talks about analytical tarot reading versus future and fortune tarot reading. So it's just really, really cool to see it from that perspective, because that's how I see it. So that's why I picked up this book. Lots to read here, but I love reading, so it's just going to be fun. Those are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 books. Any one of those books can change your entire world if you lock in on that book. But what I would do is find the book that most resonated with you here, or if no books resonated, you give me some offers, or let me know, what kind of books would you recommend for me after giving you these 15 that I love so much? Are there any books that you think that I should add to my collection? Are there any books that you have in your collection that are the same as mine? Let me know down below. Okay? And I don't really know I don't know what I'm going to do for the description here. I don't know. Maybe I'll put a link for all these books. Maybe I won't. We'll see. Love you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.